What is going on, YouTube? You tell them, Steve.
What you doing to YouTube?
Say, what you doing, YouTube?
What you doing YouTube?
Go swim, girl. Enjoy it. Today's Thursday. Stevie loves swimming. She was just at my parents' house. Mom keeps her and Vera on 2 days a week. So Jade went and picked them up. I came home from my appliance job. Out here, we got this new furniture. Shout out Emily, shout out Doug. I just ordered all the cushions for it, the umbrella for it, so we may be hosting some shrimp bowls and some barbecues before long. We appreciate you guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe. It just helps the channel grow. And yeah, I saw it. Stevie, come show them your outfit. Who's all on it? We got Tiana, Cinderella, Belle, Snow White. That's it, ain't it?
No, it's Cinderella.
Okay, give y'all a quick little update on what is kind of going on. So I did a football uniform giveaway, and so I ended up choosing Tupelo High School for it. And there's only 124 that subscribe. There may be more that watches. I'm gonna be honest with you, it was a business play on my part. A giveaway, what it will do, there's all these coaches, I think there was 98 shares. So probably 200 coaches saw it, and what it allows them to see what I can do and what I will do. Football for me is the hardest sport to try to get away from Nike or the Under Armours of the world. It just is. Baseball, no problem. Basketball is really no problem. But football is the toughest. So what I decided to do, and I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm gonna eat $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 to give uniforms to Tupelo. There's one or two things that's going to happen. Hope it's this one. Hope it's not this one. One, Tupelo's going to get them. They're going to love them. And then everybody in the single state, I think Tupelo's the largest high school in the state, but they're going to like them and like dealing with me and tell people about it. People's going to see it and say, like, man, if they're holding up and they're doing well with Tupelo, then a little old 1A can have them. Or two, they get them, they hate them, they throw them to the side. I've wasted $4,000 or $5,000, but it's a risk that I said the heck with it. I'm gonna take the football stuff. I've done youth football, but I'm not done high school. Which, like I said, I mean, we're 15 months into LA7 apparel, so it's nothing that is that's crazy. But I want to be in the football. Football's where the money's at, if we're being all honest. Because I say it's in the money because, most people are ordering 50. If they're getting 2 sets, they're ordering 100. So it's just a lot bigger quantities than most. So that's what we're doing. The Tupelo High School won the giveaway. I've already been working with Coach Harden over there at Tupelo. Probably gonna go with a blackout. But like to get you guys along on the journey just for that alone. We'll actually take a trip over there. I'll take some samples, give him an option. Hey, you want this? You want tackle twill, which means embroidered, or do you want the sublimation? Probably we'll go tackle twill no matter what on the pants, just because pants, when they stretch and they're sublimated, there's a white base, so the color's just gonna go dingy. Jersey's not as much, but just want to give you guys a quick update. Tupelo won my giveaway. Like I said, it's either I'm gonna be $5,000 less rich because I made a dumb move and my stuff didn't do, or they didn't like it, or they're gonna love them and they're gonna tell about it, and I'll get whatever football school I want. So let's see where we go with that. Pretty funny. So Belmont, some Red Bay really don't really buy from me. All the surrounding areas buy from me, but I put all my stuff in here. So there's one hat remaining right here, but 2 days ago, so I got these hats, and for some reason the red got the American flag cardinal, and people absolutely love them. I mean, they love them. So I've sold out in probably a total of 15 minutes on the 2 things that I've done. And so I probably had 8 to 10 hats in there the other day, and people just come and they pick them up and they leave cash in there, and you know, easy little pickup. I had a guy come pick up 6 or 7 pairs of batting gloves the other day, so my mailbox is kind of the drop-off place. What is going on? We are headed, today's Friday, not working the appliance job today, so I'm headed to get me a Ghost, and I got a few LA7 projects that I need to take care of, a few phone calls I need to make. I'm setting up team shops for Sportman High School. They're wanting to do 2 within about a 3-month period. So we're gonna go get a Ghost. Probably we'll go with the pink lemonade, but we'll see. Let's go along for the ride. Hey Coach, yeah, how you doing? Man, I'm good. I appreciate the phone call. Yeah, so I just wanted to run over the team shop aspect of it. I know you're wanting to do 2 within a 2 or 3 month period. That's no issue. Once we open it up, all I gotta do is go in and I can, you know, just close the shop down, and then when you want to open it back up, I can open it back up. I know that you wanted to do like a shorts and t-shirts and that type of stuff for this first go around. I think that's a good idea. And then we can open up to the long sleeves, sweatsuits, all that type of stuff. So I think that's a very good idea. Would love to roll with it, man. I appreciate your business. I appreciate you believing in me and believing in this product. You know, it's never easy. I know, being a 7A over here in Alabama, you know, most are rocking the Nikes, the Under Armours, and you're trusting in a brand that's been around in the clothing business for a year. So I really do appreciate it. Appreciate everything you've bought from me up to this point, and I can't wait to look forward. I know the other day you said you can't wait to go all in, so let's go all in. So that was just a phone call with a high school over here. It's a big 7A. They believe in me. They love the product. So before long, they'll be all in with LA7. Basically everything that's done is through me. So, and it's so cool. You know, people don't see. Man, I work 16 to 20 hours a day on LA7. I mean, literally all day, every day, 7 days a week. I work my absolute tail off. And honestly, I'm the only person that really can appreciate it, because I'm the only one that knows the work that I put in. So that's why, you know, when I first started, I said that anybody that denies me will never wear LA7. So it don't matter if I'm a $4 billion company one day. The people that deny me right now, you know, within this first year and a half, they will never wear it. And it's nothing as a disrespect to them. It's nothing as a me being a jerk. But it has to do with, I know the time I'm putting in. I realize that people like Nike and Under Armour, but I also realize what I can bring to the table. Like I said, it's no disrespect to them, but I'm not going to allow people to jump on the train when, you know, we're doing 20, 30, 40 million dollars a year. It's just not going to happen. I'm not going to allow it. So it is what it is. I'm super excited, man. LA7's really starting to, I mean, you're starting to see it a lot of places wherever you're at, whether that's batting gloves or clothing or whatever. And I don't even have like the clothing to the public out there. So it's super neat, and I appreciate you guys. Just keep following along and keep watching this journey, because it's going to be something special here in the next little bit. Sitting here waiting on 101.9 Super Talk Mississippi to call me to talk about the Ole Miss series coming up. We'll get a little footage of me talking, and Jay's getting some behind the scene pictures, but the call should come in a minute or two. Told Jade to go make my favorite drink that's on the market right now, so we'll see.
Afternoon here. We are one day away from the start of what is every year the biggest series in the state of Mississippi, as Mississippi State and Ole Miss will hook up. A man who knows a thing or two about that particular series is former Diamond Dog Luke Alexander. And Luke, when I bring up that series, I'm not going to let you say walk-off to start here. We'll get to that. But what is the first thing that you think of?
I just, just the whole state in general, especially growing up in Mississippi, you really choose between State or Ole Miss for the most part. I know it's changed a little bit, but it's just, high school baseball is winding down right now. What better time for the two teams to match up? State coming off a good weekend last weekend, Ole Miss having a good year. It's going to be some exciting baseball and fun to watch for sure.
You played in these series against Ole Miss with 3 different head coaches. I don't think Coach Canizero or Coach Henderson might have been around long enough to develop a real relationship with Ole Miss. I know for a fact Coach Cohen was not the biggest fan of the Ole Miss Rebels. What was his message to you guys before y'all would take on this team?
For the most part, his coach speak was, just staying within ourselves, don't worry about everything else. But then he would come on with a little side note and said, exactly what this means. This means just a little bit more. The SEC says it just means more. So in this series, in the state of Mississippi, it just means just a little bit more than these other matchups throughout the SEC season.
So let's talk about that 2018 season a little bit, because in some ways it's kind of similar to what Mississippi State's going through. You had a coaching change, albeit much earlier in the season. The Ole Miss series is kind of where that season turned and got you guys going again. And that was a really good Ole Miss team. They might have been number 1 in the nation when they came to Dudy Noble. You guys got 2 out of 3. What do you remember about that series?
The first thing that comes to my mind is just us, just struggling a little bit at the time. I'm just going to say it like it is. We were struggling early on in the season. We had that coaching change, and then, like you said, Ole Miss coming in really highly ranked. But again, I go back to it just meant a little bit more. And I believe we actually got rained out on Friday night, if I can remember correctly. And we played a doubleheader on Saturday and then one on Sunday. Even when all the new Dudy Noble was, I don't even think they had the upper deck then. But, just like you said, it was just a turning point. And I can just remember that being the flipping point for the rest of the season. We went on to sweep some series against Arkansas and Florida that year. And it was just a catalyst, but like I said, it just meant a little bit more. And when we got that and we won that series, it just propelled us into the rest of the season.
So I'll tell you that I remember this pretty clearly. State was having a football open practice, so all of the media were over there at that when game 1 started. And somebody says, we could hear the cheers, and we're like, I wonder what's going on. So somebody checks Twitter, and it's like 4-0 Mississippi State, and we're all like, what? What's happening over there? Because nobody expected you guys to win. But like you mentioned, you split the Saturday doubleheader, and then let's talk about that Sunday game where you have the big hit, the walk-off home run there in the 11th inning. What do you remember the at bat? Can you take us through it?
Yeah, I can't remember the exact pitches early on. I can remember the pitch being a fastball up in the zone. It seems like it was almost just right down the middle, up in the zone. And I put a good swing on it and ended up winning us the game that day. I can just remember, I think Jake, which when I say this, everybody's going to be like, well, of course. I think Jake was like 5 for 5 that day. And I think he just rolled we always made fun of Jake. We'd always say your hits are 46 hoppers through the 4-hole. And if I can remember correctly, and I may be wrong, it seems like he hit one of those 46 hoppers through the 4-hole. And it seemed like he was on base. And then, just got that pitch up in the zone. I can't remember if it was the first pitch or the second or third, but, I got a good swing on it. Gotro actually sent me that video not too long ago. Made me laugh a little bit when he sent it.
You got a good memory, Luke. Jake Mangum 5 for 5 with 4 runs scored in this game. So
yeah.
Not only was he getting on base, you guys were knocking him in. You had 3 RBI in this game. So you get a walk-off against your rival. That's something kids think about all the time when they're playing baseball out in the backyard. Not a lot of people think they're going to do it twice, and that's exactly what you got to do in the Governor's Cup, where you have the walk-off hit as well. That's one where Mike Bianco walks Jake Mangum, who's the go-ahead run, to pitch to you. That you had to take that as a challenge.
There's no doubt, and I'm pretty sure that you can go on YouTube, and I don't remember who was put it on YouTube, but they asked me that question, and I said, I give props to Bianco for being a smart guy. I'm sure Jake was hitting about 350 at the time, and I was notorious for hitting 222 for some reason. And absolutely, it's a no-brainer. You walk Jake, even though it puts the leading run at the plate or at first, and you pitch to me. But and I think I said in the interview, I took it as a little disrespect, but it helped me in that at bat. When your back's against the wall, especially, you're gonna do whatever you can to get out of that wall. But it seems like Caracci, I believe it was pitching, and I'll never forget he threw a first pitch slider, and I'll never forget it. I stood back from the box and thought, I hope he does not throw that again. And he ended up coming back with a fastball, and that's when I ended up hitting in that opposite field gap and scoring Jake. Thank goodness Jake's really, really fast. Hope he comes back off that IL soon so I can get to watching him play again. But yeah, like I said, Caracci threw that first pitch slider, and I was like, please don't do that again.
So you had 3 walk-offs that year too. You had 2 against Ole Miss and 1 against Washington in the College World Series. What is this? Why were you such a walk-off machine?
If I had the answer, I would love to know the answer. I don't know what it was or is, but I think for me, it was just not trying to do too much at the plate. Having my normal, just good AB, just trying to see pitches, just trying to slow the game down. A lot of people in that instance, the game will get fast on them. Say that was been my freshman year, absolutely. The game probably would have been going 400 miles an hour. But I had been there. I've been in those situations. I'll never forget my freshman year against UCLA. And I was kind of in that same moment, and I ended up striking out at the end of the game. And I can remember thinking, I don't want to feel that feeling ever again. And I don't know if I ever ended a game like that again for the most part. But I think it was just a test to me slowing the game down, just taking a deep breath, and just honestly just having a great hitting coach like Gotro that just gave me confidence in myself for the most part.
Let's go back a year to 2017 when you guys were up in Oxford. You swept the Rebels up there. That was, as I recall, that was another good Ole Miss team. And this was the time where State and Ole Miss were really year in, year out, two of the best teams in college baseball. And you went up there and got the sweep. All those games were really, really close. What was Canizero telling you guys in the dugout? Because that was his first real experience with Ole Miss as the Mississippi State skipper.
No doubt. What I can remember from Canizero is just a lot more intense. In 2018,